Alright gang, welcome back to our Vintage Survival here on Szpakowo. I have changed the color of the harvester here, so that should make a lot of people happy. I know a lot of people did not like that minty color. That was just the standard base color that came with the actual harvester when you bought it. So we have changed it. We've gone to a bit of a, I don't know what we would call it. It's a green, but I don't know exactly, like more of like a slightly darker green than a John Deere green, I guess. I don't know. Maybe a slightly darker green than a Fendt green, maybe is the right word or the right way to word that. But nonetheless, I have changed the color on all of those, so that has been accomplished this morning. And we have to just go ahead and do a little bit of touch-up work on this field here that the worker had been plowing up for us, this cornfield. And it is November, so there's not actually a ton for us to do today. So we do have $93,000 to our name, so we'll see what we can get into. I do think I have found at least a couple of things that we could bend the rules ever so slightly in regard to the age of them for maybe doing potentially some grape work. So I think I would like to do that potentially, hopefully. Now I can't, plant grapes right now. I mean, I could put down the vines and stuff, and we might end up doing that. But other than that, I can't really do a whole lot with grapes right now. It's not the period of time for grapes. Grapes are not going to be until March. So we got a couple months here to wait for sure before we're even going to really be able to do anything with those. But nonetheless, I think we're gonna be able to do it. So what I'm going to show you, and you can let me know, because obviously we're not going to buy it today because there's no reason to put it in today. I will show you what I've installed, and you tell me if you think it's sufficient or not. So, what's it under? Maybe it's under something else. Here it is. So this lizard grape harvester here, in my eyes, I would see that this could be some kind of like a prototype, maybe for the early 2000s. Then maybe we made this in the late 90s. So we're going to utilize this. You can tell me if you think otherwise, but we're going to utilize that. And then I have some other things installed as well that I think we can get away with as far as the age of them. But you let me know one way or another what you think, and if you think we should be allowed to put down some grapes with a tiny bit of bending of our rule about the age. Early on in this series, we talked about the potential to bend the rules slightly with, a prototype approach when there's something we really want to do and there's just nothing out there. It's been quite a while and still nothing has popped out really for the grapes. So you let me know, but I think putting some grapevines right here in this area would be absolutely perfect. To me, it just seems like a perfect area for grapes. So, but you tell me, I'll do whatever you want me to do. So today, I've got some other sad news. I was trying to utilize the coal production, and they have modified that a little bit. Now you have to put it, because it was only working in certain periods of time, and it would only work if certain mods were installed. So now you have to put it on top of, an area that actually would be considered to be a coal mine. So it's not going to work anywhere anymore. At least that was my understanding from the modification they made to it. So I haven't installed that now at this point, and the coal is no longer going to be an option for us. So what does that mean? Well, we've got to see if we can figure out something else to do over on that side of our yard area, right? More than likely what's going to happen is kind of what we talked about before we put down our big massive hat factory, and that is to put down the new upgraded mill. However, to do that, we need a lot of money, and we don't really have a lot of money right now. We have $93,000, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but we don't have $280,000 or what the heck it was. It's an outrageous amount of money. The good thing is, it is now the winter months, and while we don't have a ton to do as far as farming goes, we will and do have a lot of things we can sell to try to get us to that point. Specifically, I believe the canola oil today will be best to sell, so we can go ahead and sell that. That'll make us some money. We also have the corn that we kind of harvested in the last episode. We have not dropped that into the hat production yet. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to put some bees down as well. We're going to need to put down quite a bit of bees. All of you, rightfully so, called out that I should put the bees over near the fields instead of putting them on the other side of the shed there. And you're right, I should. It definitely does make more sense to do it that way, but I wanted to make sure that that was, you know, what... Oop, no, I don't want a worker. I wanted to make sure that is what, you know, you all wanted to see, right? Which I kind of expected that, but at the same time, you know, putting them on the other side of the shed, I mean, it doesn't really take up... Stop putting on a worker, please. Doesn't take up any, you know, any space really at all, right? It's just space that's not being utilized. So perhaps if we need more, maybe we put more there, just to give us more if we don't have enough room by the fields and stuff, right? But we'll see. I know when we were doing the one-tile challenge and we put some bees in, the workers had a lot of issues if I had the bees in between the fields because I didn't leave that much space between those fields. And so they wouldn't really harvest or drill or plow or anything else the entirety of it like they should or like I would want them to. So we'll play around with that a little bit as well. We'll also take a look at everything else and see if we can start turning on the pickles to auto-selling again. We've got a lot of pickles over there that we can load up and sell. We've got a lot of flour, which I don't think that's going to be best till December or January. So yeah, I think I've also made the decision at this point, since we're this far along into the series, we're still going to continue to do, you know, whatever is spawned whenever we're not selling anything. But when we get to a period of time where, you know, it's best to sell those products, I'm just going to turn on the auto-selling within the actual menu of the production itself versus continuing to have them spawn out and then pick them up and put them on a trailer. So we're still going to get a little bit of both, right? We're still going to get, you know, the approach of picking them up, put them on the trailer to go sell for the ones that have been storing. But the remainder, the ones that are still in storage, so an example, just to kind of try to make this sound better, because I don't think I'm explaining it very well. We've got almost 6,000 liters of flour in our outgoing product and storage. That can just stay there, and we can turn this onto auto-selling, and then we'll just, you know, sell that $6,000 from the production itself versus spawning them in a pallet form. Okay, so that has been accomplished there. I'm kind of tempted here. I'm a bit tempted to plow up the field over here. But I'm also tempted... Oh, here comes Byron. I'm also tempted... So I'm talking about this field specifically here, since we know we're not going to be able to put that coal production down. You know, I don't need as much space over here now, and we're going to expand over there anyway. I already talked about that. So maybe we keep this as a field for the time being. But I've also thought about, well, maybe we should make a bit of a upgrade to our goat enclosure. We also can mow the grass today, too, by the way. I didn't talk about that. So we've got 25 goats in there at current. I'm very tempted to do it, gang. I'm very, very tempted to do it. I kind of want to keep the exact same setup here. I just want to expand it so we can get more. It would mean I'd have to get rid of all the goats. Well, I guess I don't have to get rid of all the goats, but I would want to probably sell all of the goats and then just buy new ones and put them in here so it makes it easier. So that way I don't have to go up and get a trailer or anything like that. Do we do it? Because I could put the, you know, the shed area like over here, much easier and closer to the water, right? And then kind of go out to basically where it is now and then come up this way and do the same type of thing. But then that way I don't have to drive the water tank as far away. Not that it's that far of a drive, but it's more convenient if it's over here for sure. Would mean that we'd definitely be able to utilize more of this grass, which is what I kind of talked about at the beginning too, right? We're putting some of the grass in the silage pole just because, well, quite frankly, just because we had plenty of it. But if we make a bigger area, we should, in theory, be able to have more goats. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's upgrade the goats. I think it's time. Bear with me for a minute here. I'm going to need to turn this on because I don't remember where the menu is. Am I missing it? Maybe it's inside here. Yeah, it's inside. Okay, so Okay. All right, so they have all been sold. And so now we should be able to get rid of this. I'm going to need to move this stuff out of the way here a bit. I don't know if it's going to let me pick these up. It's not going to let me pick them up by hand. Will it let me pick these up by hand? It will. I'm just going to huck these out of the way really quick, so just bear with me. I normally wouldn't do it this way, but we're just going to try to get this set up quickly, so I'm just going to do it. Now, we haven't really done anything with this goat milk. Since the coal is not going to work out to fruition, I'm considering putting down something for the goat milk to turn it into something else. I'm not sure what yet. Still kind of playing around with that. And that might take up a little bit of the space here that I was talking about, potentially to make this, you know, continue this as a field. But we will see as we move along here. I want to smooth this out. If it'll let me. All right, we need to get the Massey Ferguson, wherever that is. Bring it over here and get those bales kind of moved out of the way. And once that's done, we can start putting down our new area for the goats. How's everyone doing today? I don't think I've asked you that. Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are pretty good here, man, all things considered. I'm recording this one Sunday morning. My wife and I actually got, I got tickets, free tickets to the Bengals game today, so we're going to go watch the Bengals play. They're playing the Bears. Duh, Bears. Now, I don't dislike the Bengals. They're probably the second team I root for, but they're not my number one football team. But my wife is a pretty diehard Bengals fan. So she's pretty happy about those free tickets. A friend of ours, he works for a distributor, like a beer and wine and liquor distributor. And he's down there working the event today and got free tickets and offered them to us. So that was very nice of him. By far the best seats we've ever sat in. We've really only been there. I've been there twice. I think she's been there one other time. The one time we went, we were like all the way up in the nosebleeds, like the 400 level, almost as high as you could get. I don't think there's a level higher than the 400s at the Bengals Stadium, but you know, it was way up there. Let's put it that way. And somebody was just super hammered, and it was not that fun where we were. At least at that point in time in our life, it was not that fun. So we're hoping for a little bit of a better experience this time. Who knows? We'll see. All right, I'm just going to leave that right there for now. I don't want to go any further. I don't want it to actually accidentally go into there. All right, so there was definitely some area here that still needed to be smooth, and it could have been that it was not allowing me to smooth it because, you know, those bales were there. I don't know for sure if that's why or not, but anyway, we're going to smooth this out a little bit more, just trying to make it look as good as we can. All right, so let's go ahead and put down this new pin here for the goats, or sheep in this instance. And let's see. Now, what I'm probably going to do is put this down and then probably delete it like you guys have all taught me to do, and then redo it again after that. You know, kind of smooth it out a little bit. Figure out where it needs to be at, and then kind of smooth the edges from there, right? Sorry, gang. I think I mentioned it recently. This thing has got a bit of a stick drift. I'd switched to another controller, but the other controller I have also has a stick drift. It's just not as severe. But this one's kind of worse, I think, for farming than it is any other game that I play, because this one's on the stick that moves the camera. The other one's on the stick that moves you forward, backwards, etc., which isn't as bad in farming versus other games. All right, I think right there would be good. I think it's going to give us enough room. Okay, so that did quite a lot there. I actually was not expecting it to do as much as it did. I mean, that is a severe drop down. Ooh, maybe this isn't going to work. Or maybe I need to move where I had it. Maybe I need to move it here and then just change, you know. Maybe that's what I need to do. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's change the cursor shape here. Let's take a level. Whether this is the right thing to do or not, let's take a level here. We're going to spend a lot of money doing this, but that's all right. Because then I can smooth it out. I really don't care if the fence, if they're walking around on hills, I don't really care that much about that. It's going to take some work here, gang, but just bear with me for a minute here. We'll get it set up properly, I promise. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. All right, that should work. That should work there. I just had to change where I'm putting them at, but that should work. Okay, so yeah, I think this is going to be okay. If I give myself enough room right here, I think that'll be okay. Hopefully that'll be okay, right? I'm going to give myself just a tiny, tiny bit more room there. Okay, custom fence. Oh, we're supposed to be going this way with it first. Okay, that's fine. Is that too far? No, it actually looks pretty good. Okay. It didn't like something I did there. Clearly. Here we go. Yeah, let's plant meadow. Okay, perfect. That is a massive area for the goats, man. They've got so much room in here. We're probably going to put a couple trees in here for them, too. Give them a little shade, because they don't really have a whole lot of shade. They haven't had any shade before, either. So, it's still kind of... I mean, it's flat here, which is really the most important part, honestly, for me. I don't really care that much if this isn't that flat, because it's not. I should be able to pick them up relatively easy, but... Yeah, that's good, man. This is 54, so we went up significantly. Actually, I thought it was going to be a lot more than 54, but you know, we didn't. But that's fine. We can still put a ton of sheep in here, an absolute ton. So we're going to buy a bunch. I think we had 25, right? So we're going to start with 5 each. Oh, that's sheep. Shit, I didn't want to do that. Shit. Wait, we lost a little bit of money there. That's all right. All right, there's our goats. Here we go. I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm just going to buy 25 goats. And then the rest they can continue to reproduce like they've been doing. All right. Look at that, man. Big, massive new area for the goats to run around in. They've got a little bit of hills and stuff they can hang out in. They're going to have a good time with that. All right, let's bring them some of the food over here. We'll figure something out to do with that goat milk, because we got quite a bit there. I'm going to kind of, modify this a bit here. And what I mean by modify it a bit is I'm going to probably extend this little pathway here a little bit more. Just give ourselves a little bit more room. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a hill here, but it's not terrible. I think we can make it work. Might be able to smooth it out a little bit too. I need to move that little water tank out of the way too. We need to get that sorted out. I'm going to drop this right here for right now. So it's a much smaller field now that we added an extension here to the goats, but you know, that's okay. It could be worse. It could be worse. I just wanted to make sure I had plenty of room in here, in this area down here specifically, to maneuver around. That was my biggest concern, I guess is how I should put it. Alright, let's do a quick auto-save here. I'm going to turn off the icons. You know that I don't really love having the icons on unless I absolutely have to. It's not my favorite thing. I like to... Alright, they should be full now, and there's enough room here for me to turn around, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That's what I was concerned about, is if I was going to have enough room to turn around there from the goats, and I was easily. Alright, so that's done. So let's work on the goats a little bit more here, and what I mean by that is we're going to actually put down a little bit more of this sandy gravel that I like around the area, just to kind of clean that up. Get rid of some of this grass here too, and that's okay. Okay, that's that. I'm going to touch this up around the edges here as well. We're going to need to do this all the way around because, as you saw before, when we did make that into a field, as soon as we tried to have a worker work the area, it thought the goats were part of the field, and it was just a bit of a mess, right? So we're going to need to go all the way around this thing. Alright, we don't need to make it as large down this way because we're not really probably going to be driving down this way all that much, so I think something like that is probably sufficient. We've got a little bit of area back here if we want to store something, or maybe we put something else down here in the future, who knows. Alright, these trees are going to get in the way here. A little bit too close there on that one. That's alright. They got a little gravel spilling over into their pin there, but it's not that bad. Alright. Yeah. I'm good. I'm happy with that. Now, this is a ton of space over here. Did we need this much room? No, we didn't. But it was, again, more for this because this is so close to here. We need to make sure we had enough space down here to maneuver. All right, good, good, good. Okay, so I'm gonna add a tree in here for him. At least one tree, maybe two. I don't know what kind of tree I want to add in. I want to kind of keep it, you know, somewhat with the theme of what we're dealing with here with the actual map itself. So I don't want it to look too out of place. Well, does that look... It kind of looks like some of those trees, I guess. And I think this is a good tree to put in there. It's going to provide quite a bit of shade, right? I'll put another one down here. There we go. Yeah. I like that. That gives them some shade so they can hang out if they want to, or if they want to have, you know, the sun, direct sun beating down on them, they can come over here and get the direct sun beating down on them. I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. All right, cool. All right, the sheep are done. We got to move this stuff out of the way. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. I'm going to leave it there for right now because we might find something to do with it today. More than likely, we will find something to do with it today, actually, now that I say that. I have a high probability that we will do something with that goat milk. Not really enough room for me to drive. I guess there is enough room for me to drive back here. I didn't think there was going to be enough room for me to drive back here, but I guess there is. Alright, so this field has gotten significantly smaller now for the time being, but that's okay. What I'm going to do... Am I facing the wrong way with this thing? Because I'm just not lining up to it properly, I guess. So it wasn't close enough to it. Here we go. Alright, well, I'm going to do one other thing here, because now that I see how small that is, I think it's still going to cause issues. So we're going to fix this really quick, and then I'm going to set a worker off on just kind of plowing this field up a little bit. So we're just going to expand it just a little bit more. Nothing too crazy. Alright, that should work. I shouldn't have any major issues with this now. And it's a very small field now, I get that. But again, it's probably going to go away very soon. That almost looks too big, doesn't it? That looks too big to me still. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not too big. It just looks too big. We'll set it on a worker. We'll just see what happens, I guess. If they get stuck, they get stuck. Okay, so, the corn. Let's go ahead and dump the corn. Let's dump the corn in here. And we're going to go put this back over here, put it away. Where we've been storing it at. Alright, there's that. So that's done. We need to put down the honey. The bees, rather. Put down the honey. The bees. Now, as far as where I'm going to spawn the honey, I don't think anything happens right here. So I'm considering putting it right here. As a matter of fact, bear with me. I'm gonna put these back. I guess I should have just left them all on. I'm going to put it back on really quick. Yeah, that's where you drop stuff at. The pallets we already know spawn over here. So yeah, I think if we put, and I'm just gonna put down a standard spot here. I don't need a nice, cover or anything like that. We don't need anything like that because we're just gonna be picking it up directly from here and putting it right into there anyway. I'm gonna put it right there. Oop, I need to do this right there. Boom, perfect. All right, so that's there. So that's done. And now we can put the bees down. I mean, I really like these bees, but again, I don't know for sure which one gives us the better deal. Now, this might be enough room between these two that I wouldn't have any issues. Maybe. We're going to do this one, though, because it goes on both sides. This one does. So, we need to put down a lot of these. I mean, really, we do. We're going to spend all the money here, gang. We're not going to be able to do the other thing I was talking about doing potentially for the goat milk yet. We're going to have to hold off on that for a little bit, I think. I guess it depends how much money we make from the canola oil that we're going to sell here in a bit. All right, I'm going to hold off at that point. I still think the worker's going to have some issues with this, so we might have to do a bit of the headland pass ourselves. We just have to remember to do it. But that's quite a bit of bees there. Now, we know they don't really produce a whole lot, and they're not going to really produce a whole lot right now anyway. It's almost the winter months. They might actually already be in hibernation already. I don't know for sure if that's the case or not, but they might be. So let's just make sure that I'm correct with my statements here. So the canola is technically best to sell in December. So maybe canola oil is in December as well. For some reason, I thought it was November. It is December. Although right now, the price is better than the average best, and it's still going up. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, we only have 351 in here, actually. I guess I need to go get more canola and bring it over here. I thought it was sharing again, but maybe it's not, because it still says we have... Whoa. What is going on there? It still says we have canola in here. Still says we have 20,000 liters of canola in here. Okay, well, I definitely want to, make the canola into canola oil. It does make us more money, so... I mean, we might as well drop it all off in there, right? Okay, so that should take care of that issue without making any canola. And I'm going to turn the canola oil onto selling. Now, flour, maybe I got the flour. Maybe the flour is what I got backwards. Maybe flour is this month. Nope, flour's December as well. Although the price is not terrible right now either. But we're not going to sell that until next month. We're going to wait. There's no reason for us to sell that right now when we can get an extra $100 and some odd dollars off of that. But we should have that canola oil onto selling now. So, obviously, we're not going to probably get a whole lot of money right now because it just now passed 9 o'clock, and we're probably, we're only on a 2x speed. I could speed it up, sure, but I'm not going to. So we're probably not going to see a whole lot of that, extra income there from the canola oil until next month, but that's okay. Next month is going to be a big, big month for selling, right? Big month. So I guess we could sell what we have here. There's only 3 pallets, though. I feel like I might as well just wait and do all of this together in the next month, right? When you've got all of that available to sell. So let's just spend some more time here, kind of focusing on all of this area here a little bit more like we've been doing. This is, I think, was a fantastic, this was a spur of the moment. This was not my plan to do today, extending or adding more to the goat area. Absolutely was not. It was probably the last thing on my mind, honestly. But I'm happy we did it. Very, very happy we did it. So the workers are going to continue to do this. We are going to put something in the ground on this for this season. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but we're going to put something on the ground there. Here, I've talked about potentially buying this piece of land here and turning this into a field. I'm kind of leaning against it now. I don't really think we're going to need to do it because I think this is going to be plenty of room for our yard, and I think we have, honestly, plenty of fields, and we're going to continue to buy more of these fields over here. I've already talked about that a couple of times, right? There's only a couple fields left that we need to buy on this row, but still, this is something we are going to continue to focus on doing as we move along. Now, I don't have any money to buy those right now, so don't expect me to do it today because we spent an absolute ton of money on the goats and the bees, right? Tons and tons of money on that. So don't expect that, but you get what I mean. So we're going to do this for now. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, I need to paint all of this over here. I painted everything else over here, and then I forgot to come back over here and paint this. I said I was going to do it next time I was over in this vicinity, and then I didn't do it. We've got these little areas here that aren't up to snuff with our little sand painting color. We can do this mowing today as well, but I don't think we necessarily need to. I've actually been cruising along here, rambling for really no apparent reason. A lot longer than I expected. So this is just going to be kind of a yard expansion over here for us. Oh, look at there. We saw that there is a piece of stump still in there. Don't know how we missed that. Well, I do know we missed that. There was an area there, and that was probably what it was. That was an absolute pain. Now, you might be like, well, why are you wasting all the money on this? See, that's a lot of space there for no reason. You're right, it is. But I've talked about it already a couple of times, and we're going to do it. And it's going to be over here, because it's not going to be a very big addition. It is in the scheme of how much money we're going to make off the goat milk, but you know, the price itself and the actual building itself is not a very large building that we're going to be utilizing. So more than likely, I'm going to put that over here in this vicinity somewhere. I'm just not exactly sure where yet, but it'll be over here somewhere for sure. So I think if we get rid of that, we might have a better chance here to smooth this out a little more. As you can see, it is quite a high hill here. Yeah. We don't really have anything for that right now, though. So, I mean, I guess we do. We can try this again, but, you know, it was having issues with it, so it may not work. It probably won't work. But let's give it one more shot, I guess, and we'll see. And then we can start moving this over here, too. I talked about moving these two things over here to our main yard area, now that we've kind of moved everything over there at this point. There's no reason, really, to have these here still. Although, really, the mower probably should stay over here because it's closer to the actual grass. But, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to drive it over there. It's not that far. So I don't think this is going to work because, I mean, I literally worked for a long time trying to get this to work, to remove these stumps out of here. It took me a long, long time, right? So I don't expect it to work here. But, you know what? Let's give it a shot and see. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, we want this, and I want mulcher swath stump grinder. There we go. Doesn't seem like it's working. It's just chewing, but not doing anything. See, it's not low enough on the ground. I guess the only other thing I could attempt to try here, which I would have thought I would have tried in the past, but maybe I didn't, is to try to go at it like this way, maybe? Yeah, it's not working. I didn't think it would. I'm going to try one other angle here. I still don't think it's going to work, but we're going to try one other angle. Just trying to get it like to lay on top of it, if you will. Yeah, it's not working, gang. It's not working. I'm just wasting our time, your time and mine. I don't think there's going to be any way for me to actually try to make it work either, because I don't think it does work if I try this. Nope. Yeah, it's not working. It's just kicking me out immediately. I mean, I'm really just trying anything at this point to see if we can make it work here. It's probably going to be a pain to drive up this thing, but let's just see if this if this works. It's not going to work. It's not going to work either. I just wasted money. That's all I'm doing. It wants to get rid of it, man. It really does, but it can't. It just can't do it. I guess I'm going to have to just break the rules again and try to lease a different stump grinder and see if it works. Because that's not working. It's just simply not going to work. There's that, and we'll go get the cultivator and bring it over here. We haven't utilized that cultivator in a while. I'm considering maybe we should just get rid of it, but yeah, we'll leave it for now, for the time being. Now, other than this, gang, I don't think we have anything else specifically to do today. We don't really have a whole lot of money since I spent an arm and a leg on expanding the goat area and then the bees. Let me look at the pickles here. I can't remember. See, you would think, I've said this I know before, but you would think that I'd have all this stuff memorized. I just don't. I really don't. Too much going on. So pickles are in March. I knew they were coming up soon. I just couldn't remember what month it was in. So it's kind of early-ish spring almost. Late winter, early spring. Okay. So the pickles we're not going to be doing anything with. The hats. I mean, we're making straw hats big time here. We've got the hats on selling. So I think they don't really fluctuate all much. We were just going to wait until it's the best time to sell the straw hats that have spawned, I think. Right? I think that's what we said. Which is May, so that's coming up too, so it's not now. So yeah, that's it, gang. That's all we really had to do today. It wasn't a whole lot, but we did make a nice upgrade to our goat enclosure here. I'm very, very happy with how it came out. A lot more room for the goats as well. So it's going to produce a lot more goat milk for us, which is really the next stage that we want to do. Next episode, we'll be mowing this grass up, probably selling all of our products, and then we'll see where we get to after that. But yeah, it's been very, very productive. I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely the best. If you want to become a member or you want to see more about that, there is a link down below in the description, which will give you all the details, which you get early access to videos like this one before they're released to everyone else. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.